Tuesday, the 17th of May 2022 is the date. A warm welcome to another daily installment of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. Leading the bulletin tonight. The current furor on counterfeit goods has sparked criticism, soliciting sentiments from the leader of the official opposition, as well as the AR movement leader. Even Minister Kalish Ledvine weighed in on the matter by tweeting the following. To import and trade in counterfeit goods is illegal, regardless who is doing it and where it is done. The law must prevail, and the police is duty-bound to ensure that. Members of Parliament took an oath to protect the law, not to propagate breaking it. One can only be astounded. The public, however, still needs an understanding around the destroyed counterfeit goods. Primetime News sat down in an exclusive interview with the Namibia Revenue Agency's Manager for Strategic Communications and Stakeholder Engagement, Tonateni Shidudu, earlier this morning, where he shed some light on the goods that were recently destroyed.
I think at this point, what is important to highlight is that the goods that were confiscated were not recently taken from the importers or traders, as some people want the nation to believe. These goods have been in our warehouses for a very long time. Some of them have been there for 7 years, and the latest were there for 5 years. So it's really not true that these were items that were taken recently. They have been with us for many years, and it's because they are counterfeit, and in terms of the law, they are not allowed into the country.
Shidudu assured the public that the counterfeit goods confiscated and destroyed are predominantly not from the order with me or Namibians.
That we also need to highlight is that it is not true that the goods were predominantly confiscated from Namibians. While we will not, we are unable to divulge the nationality of those from the goods were seized, we can affirm that the majority of the goods were not confiscated from Namibians.
The goods were confiscated by a number of officials at different duty stations as part of the various enhanced enforcement operations carried out under the applicable domestic and international instruments. He says that NAMRA will go out into the community to educate the public on various aspects of the law and on the mandate of NAMRA.
Today we are just concluding the stakeholders engagement session in Kobabis. In March we were in Karas region, and in the next few months we will be going to other regions. So we will really be going out to various towns and regions to educate people on the provisions of the law and various aspects under our mandate. And we just want to appeal to members of the public that when you see an invitation from the Namibia Revenue Agency about a stakeholder engagement session or about a public consultations or a workshop on a certain matter of your interest, please do attend, because you will really learn a lot from these sessions.
We will bring you the full version of the exclusive interview after tomorrow's Primetime News edition. Now, while condemning the heavy-handedness of the Namibian police force during last week's demonstration in Chinatown, the Editors Forum of Namibia has cautioned journalists to acquaint themselves with the necessary procedures to avoid being caught in crossfire.
This follows incidents where some local journalists were struck by rubber bullets while on duty during the Chinatown incident. According to preliminary reports, it appears as if the journalists were amidst the demonstrating crowd when Nampal's paramilitary reserve force attempted to disperse it, which led to some journalists being struck in the process. The Editors Forum of Namibia wants media houses to train their media practitioners to ensure that they never expose themselves to parties who mean harm. The chairperson of the Namibia Editors Forum, Frank Stephan, in a statement issued late Monday, said never get caught up in the middle of a conflict or between two parties that are part of a conflict. According to the Editors Forum of Namibia, journalists must ensure that the police or other security forces can see and identify them as media or journalists instead of activists. All in all, Stephan condemned police brutality during demonstrations. The demonstration erupted at Chinatown in the heart of Windhoek's northern industrial area on Friday, following the arrest of Namibian economic freedom fighters, Economic Commissar Michael Amushelelo, for allegedly inciting violence and looting last Thursday.
Shifting attention to municipality matters. Chief Executive Officer of the Rehoboth Town Council, Simeon Kanime, has urged residents to be patient while the council is in the process of procuring a system box to repair the town's only traffic lights which are dysfunctional. Shelva Wolves compiled this report.
The traffic lights that have been out of commission for over a month are located on Bonhoff Street in the town centre. Kanime told Nampa on Monday the council is aware of the broken traffic lights and has been working to find a solution, which he said is due to a broken system box after the council brought in a service provider from Windhoek to inspect the situation, and they indicated the system box was broken and needed to be replaced completely. Kanime further said based on the recommendation, the council has ordered a new system box from South Africa as the system box is not available in Namibia and is estimated to cost around 65,000 Namibian dollars. He said once the system box arrives in Namibia, it will be installed and the traffic lights will be operational again. He said the council hopes to have the traffic lights operational again by 16 June.
On to European news. Finland's parliament earlier today endorsed the government's plan to apply for NATO membership. The vote was 188 in favor with 8 against. Xinhua brings us the details.
The parliamentary vote was technically a response to the government's statement about its intentions. At this stage, no formal parliamentary approval was required in Finland. However, Prime Minister Sanna Marin and President Sauli Niinisto had insisted that a parliamentary opinion is obtained before the government and president proceed with submitting the application to NATO. On Sunday, Finland made the official decision to start the process of the country's application to become a NATO member. The governments of Finland and Sweden intend to jointly hand in their NATO application in Brussels.
When we return, Santam Namibia donates 100,000 Namibian dollars towards fighting pest outbreak. In our Primetime Beast segment tonight, we begin at home. Santam Namibia availed 100,000 Namibian dollars to Drought Relief Namibia to aid fighting the pest outbreak. Once more, Shelva Wolves compile this insert.
Since then, locusts have destroyed over 719,000 hectares of grazing land and 1,207 hectares of crop fields in 10 of Namibia's 14 regions, with the Karas region being the most affected. According to Santam Chief Executive Officer Franco Fieres, the funds will be used by the Agricultural Ministry to purchase fuel for sprayer vehicles and contribute to the salaries of those who do the spraying. Fieres added that in addition to the donation, they have assembled a team on the ground in the affected areas to assess the damage and deal with claims from its clients as quickly as possible. According to Henriette Lagrange, project manager for Drought Relief Namibia, the organization is there for every farmer regardless of the challenges they face, which is why they are assisting with the fight against the locust infestation, adding that this is a devastating blow to the farming community, particularly farmers who had received the first good rains since 2016.
On to international business news. Official figures reveal that Britain's jobless rate hit its lowest level in more than 47 years at the start of the year. Let's get some insights from DPA.
The good news was dampened by the fact that workers have seen their pay fall further behind rocketing inflation. The Office of the National Statistics said the rate of unemployment dropped to 3.7% in the 3 months to March, the lowest since October to December 1974. For the first time, there were fewer unemployed people than job vacancies. Although the fall in the rate was also down to a rise in the number of people dropping out of the job market, the figures showed. The Office of the National Statistics also laid bare the scale of the mounting cost of living crisis, revealing that regular pay, excluding bonuses, dropped by 2.9% in March when taking consumer price index inflation into account, the biggest fall since November 2011. In the 3 months to February, real regular pay was 2% lower, the steepest decline since 2013.
That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Stay tuned for your sports update.
Good evening and welcome to Sport Planet. I'm Joy Gorses. We begin with English Premier League news. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, Ishour Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk will be fit to face Real Madrid in the Champions League final, despite going off in Saturday's FA Cup final win over Chelsea. Both will be left out of Klopp's squad for tonight's visit to Southampton as a precaution, despite the Reds still being in the running for the Premier League title.
When asked if either could play at St Mary's, Klopp said no. They are both okay, so the target for both would be they could be involved again at the weekend. Klopp's men were given fresh hope they could pip Manchester City to the title when Pep Guardiola's team dropped 2 points in a 2-2 draw at West Ham on Sunday. Defending champion City, with 1 game remaining, are 4 points clear at the top of the table with a significantly better goal difference than their rivals, who have 2 games left.
Christian Eriksen has declared he would love to play Champions League football again, amid speculations of returning to Tottenham or joining Manchester United. Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest when playing for Denmark in June last year at Euro 2020 against Finland and was brought back to life on the pitch.
The 30-year-old was then unable to continue playing for Inter Milan as medical rulings in Italy prevent players from featuring after having a cardioverter defibrillator fitted. The midfielder subsequently joined Brentford on a 6-month contract in January and has starred on his Premier League return, scoring once and assisting 4 in 10 league games. However, Eriksen's short-term contract will expire soon after Brentford host relegation threatened Leeds United on Sunday, leading to questions over his future. Brentford manager Thomas Frank has made it clear he wants his compatriot to stay, while reports in England suggest a return to Spurs or a move north to United. Meanwhile, Eriksen has hinted that he wants to play in Europe's premier club competition again, which may bolster Tottenham's bid should Antonio Conte's side edge past Arsenal in the top 4 race.
Stand by for the sports roundup. That's all the news we had for you this evening. Thanks for watching. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free to interact with us in the comments section. Catch us tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gorses, and the entire production crew, wishing you a lovely evening.